has to recluse themselves.
Majority.
Yeah, majority.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good then.
Okay.
Well, then they already told him he's on.
Yeah, well, then we'll save him one.
Right, let the man do something.
Yeah.
Keep
Now
the,
you call it.
Well, employee didn't show up.
call the meeting to order, ask everyone to please rise and join me in the salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would ask, Madam Vice President, would you take the roll call?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. With pleasure. Chairman Dickinson,
Here.
Mayor Calvadas, Councilman Peters,
Here.
Candy Clehammer is here, Debbie Gushin. Here. Ron Fullerton.
Here.
Scott Pachowski,
Absent.
John Gunn. Joe Ockley, Joseph called me and said he had an affair with his son's life and would not be able to attend. He did call and asked if that application was being heard, and I emailed June and said it was not, so he asked to be excused. Mr. Ober, absent. David Rowan,
Here.
Mr. Pettit is excused because he was called and made aware there's going to be no applications.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Public notice of this meeting is pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act as given by the Secretary in the following manner. Posted on the bulletin board of the Borough Clerk's office, mailed to the retrospect newspaper on January 17th, a newspaper designated a reorganization for that purpose. The first order of business would be a memorialization of a subdivision application for 360 Union Avenue in the name of Edward St. John, 24 block.
Mr. Chairman, should we approve the minutes of the prior two meetings first?
Has everyone had a chance to read the minutes of the last meeting?
Yes. I make a motion that we, first of all, approve the minutes of the July 11th meeting.
Motion's in order, do I have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
I would now like to make a motion that we approve the minutes of the June 27th special meeting.
Second.
All those, has the motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
The memorialization of the June 22nd meeting is now public record. Now, to get to the agenda this evening, the agenda for this evening is we're waiting for another member to memorialize CAK properties. We have a memorialization resolution for minor subdivision of 360 Union Avenue.
Make a motion to accept the application, memorializing it.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Shall I present that to sign off and have free time?
The second order of business is a memorialization addition for 613 Andrea Road. That was just an addition to a man's property.
That was an addition and bulk variances, Mr. Chairman, front yard and side yard, which were approved.
Well, didn't we ask for a drawing that would memorialize?
We did put in there that any other approvals, well, that this approval is subject to any and all other approvals which may be required. Our engineer, I believe, was going to advise the applicant.
Yeah, they were going to get a survey done.
Yeah, they were going to get a survey as built. Yes, yeah. I
So
believe
we-
the engineer, John will instruct that. That's going to be a condition when he picks up his permit.
Right, we need a roll call vote.
I make a motion that we memorialize the applicant for 613 Andrea Road.
Second.
Motion been made and second, have a roll call vote?
Dickinson.
Yes.
Calvadas. Beatrice.
Yes.
Playhammer.
Yes.
Bushian. Yes. Fullerton.
Yes.
Pachowski.
I think we should back up one and do a memorialization on the Union Avenue application again with a roll call vote.
Okay, I make a motion that we memorialize the subdivision granted on 360 Union Avenue.
Second.
Motion been made and second. We need a roll call vote, please.
Dickinson.
Yes.
Calvadas. Beatrice.
Yes.
Playhammer.
Yes.
Bushian. Yes. Fullerton.
Yes.
Oberlin. Is that him? Over. Okay.
Now, I'm waiting for Mr. Gunn. I called him at home. He said he's on his way in.
Mr. Chairman, there is one other matter that has to be memorialized tonight. It's an application of John DePiero, 230 Union Avenue. This gentleman obtained a prior subdivision approval back in September 8, 2010. He was represented by Mr. Thatcher at the last meeting. They were requesting extension of right to file the two required deeds pursuant to the ordinance. So at that time, at our June 27th meeting, we voted to apply, grant the applicant an extension, 60-day extension to get his deeds in and to reaffirm the minor subdivision. It's my understanding that he has, that the secretary has received the deeds from Mr. Thatcher that perfects the subdivision.
That was an agenda item in the.
Not the special meeting, that was the June 27th meeting.
June
Okay.
27th was a special meeting.
The meeting before that, I'm sorry.
That's June
Yeah,
11th.
June, yes, that's correct. He made that application it was a letter application. And it was discussed by the board and approved.
And Mr. Thatcher.
Gave you 60 days from June 13th or June 11th, whatever.
June 11th.
So the clock's ticking on that too, right?
He did, yeah, he got it in before the 60 days.
So
We gave him additional 60 days.
Memorialize that.
We have to memorialize, yeah, it has to be on
Motion's in order to memorialize this to
The
the second.
DePiero application.
application for reaffirmation of the minor subdivision and approve or extend the time to perfect his deeds.
Application, motion's been made to approve the DePiero extension of the resolution. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Jim, would you please give us a roll call vote?
Dickinson?
Yes.
Beatrice?
Yes.
Playhammer?
Yes.
Bushy? Yes. Can you vote,
Guns,
That's
yes.
all right.
The last order,
No, we don't need, that's okay, we can come up and do the next one, yeah, because we
the
have.
last order of business is a resolution for CAK Properties,
Yes,
which is the bar restaurant.
yep.
And that we asked Mr. Gunn to come in and also participate in the vote.
Okay, that's fine.
So the
But
motion's
he
in order.
recused himself from the
Yeah,
application.
he was
He didn't hear the testimony.
Oh, you didn't hear your testimony on CAK?
Oh, that's, okay. Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum.
Still majority.
And, yeah, so it's still a majority, so,
Okay.
and I know we'll have one recusal, and, you know, the board can vote.
Make a motion that we memorialize the application of CAK Properties.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Need a roll call vote?
Dickinson?
Yes.
Beatrice abstained. Playhammer?
Yes.
Bushy? Yes. Thornton?
You want to, well, we got 3 out of 5, so that's a majority. So there's 2 abstentions.
All right. That concludes the business. Anyone on the board have anything that they'd like to bring to light at the meeting?
Well, at some point, I would like to get together on the Sandoz property and get a better understanding of the application. I know that there was one special meeting that I have not gotten any input on, but I think it's a very important application. I want to do my job to the best of my ability, to understand everything that's going on, and understand the board's position on it, and understand, the positives and the negatives. I think that when they came in the last time, all they had was a footprint of buildings. I think that was totally insufficient for us to deem any type of an opinion on myself. But I don't, what can we do as a board to try to get a better understanding of that application before we have to hear it and make a decision legally? What can we do? I want to do things legally and right, but I don't know.
If you're
I don't want to
going,
come in here and have a shotgun answer for anybody.
right, we don't have a review committee per se in this.
Well, if I could interrupt, right now, it's in the hands of council.
Right now, it's, as you recall back in February when they came in, there was, the difficulty
ordinance is that what they are proposing is permitted, but it does not set forth the setbacks which are required for townhouse construction. So at that meeting back in February, they requested that we send a letter, meaning our office on behalf of the planning board, to township council to say, look, this is a problem, we don't have any parameters, guidelines in which to make a decision. The setbacks were not set.
Well,
So apparently that letter went to town council,
That's
through
correct.
Mr. Kennedy.
That's correct.
And I know Mr. Carmier has contacted Mr. Kennedy a couple of times.
Excuse me if I interrupt, we appointed a committee of which I am one of those people.
Okay.
And the committee met for just a short time
Right.
and realized that we needed more time. So we asked the solicitor to send another letter and ask for more time. We're hoping to have a meeting, okay, before the next council meeting, so the committee can make a recommendation to council, and they can rule as they see fit. I
Okay.
think at this particular point, it's in council's hands.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And ultimately.
So, I mean, after that question is answered and council determines where they want to be, then I think the application should be judged upon what they present.
And what is council?
I don't know what council's
No,
going to.
no. What are they trying to rule on? I want to make sure, are they trying to rule
Well,
on the
I'm
standards?
not going to answer that question because there's a whole panoramic thing that we're going to be discussing. We will be making recommendations
they asked
to the
for,
governing body of what the feelings of the committee will be. And then it's up to council then to take any action that they want to take on the ordinance.
they asked for action on the D variance. And the D variance requires affirmative 5 votes. But it also makes reference to specifically that you need, if you're asking for a deviation from a standard, there has to be a standard.
And that's what.
And the
is not-
standard
is
That's not in our ordinance.
The standard
is not in the
specifically
ordinance.
is not there,
It's not
and it was
It's not
never
there. No,
intended
I
to
agree
be.
with you. So a planning board does have the power, if there is, if a standard is not there, they don't have to, but they can hear an application and accept the proposal of an applicant and approve that plan as to that particular lot. You
Okay,
can't.
this particular, not to interrupt, but he would have to do that lot by lot by lot. Okay?
That's correct. Okay, you could do that. Because
That's
there
what
is
we're
no
at right now.
standard, and the planning board can say, we've heard the argument, we've seen the plans, we'll approve that standard, or we'll approve those dimensions as per this particular lot.
The applicant's hanging their hat on the fact that there's something that prefaces the R3 specific code.
Yeah, our code
It's a
specific,
preamble to the R3 code, right, where it says that they are permitted. But even where it says they're permitted, it offers no standard. So how can I, as a chairman, recommend a deviation from the standard that doesn't exist in either or?
then
The preamble
you
or
can
the
accept the
ordinance.
standard if you wish. If a planning board wants to, you can accept the standard or what they're proposing. You're not making that then the standard for the entire borough, but.
No, but that gives them townhouses, and townhouses were specifically
The townhouses, they are
from the code.
specifically permitted. Cluster townhouses are permitted under our ordinance.
You know, we can do this.
Yeah, we can do this all night.
But I would suggest that we wait for the meeting with the.
Yeah, that's fine. The only thing is though, remember, we won't have an ordinance. I mean, the panel is going to be giving a recommendation,
That's
correct?
correct.
To town council.
That's correct. And what it is going to be, I don't know that. I'm only one person making this recommendation.
Okay.
When I hear all the facts.
But still, if town council approves that, then that ordinance has to be read. It takes a while to.
We may have more legal problems ahead of us. That's one of the scenarios.
That's possible.
It's not gonna go away.
No, absolutely not.
And nor should it go away.
The borough is either going to have to set the standards, on their own accord, or what could happen, you could be ordered to set the standards and be given a certain amount of time.
Mucho things can happen, but I think at one point, the application that the applicant makes is gonna have to be judged upon what it is. And that time is for everybody to see what it is.
We don't know what this new application is
I
going to be.
understand, and what, you could reject the application based
So-
on that.
So I know what Jamie's saying, but I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think an applicant should come here and present his application.
Oh,
I'm not trying to meet with them, I'm trying to keep us, I guess what I'm getting at is, I just want to be sure that if you guys, come to some type of a conclusion based upon all the information that you get, that you share it with us before the meeting, so we understand going in. I don't want to walk in here.
Let me explain,
And not
let me
know.
say one more thing. We were just discussing it before. The meeting of council is one day before yours, unless they have some kind of special meeting. I don't know at this particular point. So, we would have to give you some kind of communication.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, just so we know what's going on, because I don't want to walk in here at 10:07 and not know what council recommended to the planning board. That's kind of an erroneous thing for us. We're not going to be prepared. I
Well,
want to be prepared.
it would be what council's probably going to vote on, what standards council's going to
Well, you see
set.
what I'm saying?
Maybe.
But if, say, those standards aren't set by that next meeting, the applicant can, he can present his.
To judge it back from what he
Yeah,
presents.
he can present his, make his argument.
Yeah, I'm not for or against the application. I don't know enough about it to be for or against it. All we were given was a footprint of buildings. I have nothing to.
Well, that's why he's got to come back and tell you what he wants to do.
Right.
And at this particular point, as Solicitor said, he has a right to do that, so long as he stays within the parameters that are defined by the ordinance at this point. And to my recollection of what's going on, and don't get me wrong, a lot of things go by me, but he has a right to come in here and propose what he'd like to do. But knowing what I know about it, and I don't know, I'm not an expert at that, it seems to me as though every piece he will have to get a variance on every piece.
He would have to get variances on the townhouse pieces. I think he was with the other houses that he was proposing.
Well, that's
I
where
think he was within the,
that brings
He
me
can
to
forward
my
it.
Mr.
recollection.
Isn't it a little bit more convoluted than that? We're changing the code. We're changing the.
no, you're not
R3.
changing the code. You're not changing the code. Absolutely not. If there's not a standard, okay, if there's no standard,
The R3 code is silent for the
it
townhouse.
is silent for a standard, but it says townhouses are permitted. So when
Not in the R3 code.
No, it is, Dick. It is. It says right in the cluster townhouses are permitted. It's a permitted use.
You don't have to read me that. I'm familiar with that.
So we're in what, R3?
I'm familiar with that. 395-8.
Yep. And it in fact goes, and it says the R3 district permitted principal building structures and uses within residence R3 district, single family detached, semi-detached dwellings, duplexes, townhouses, municipal buildings, structures and uses owned or operated by the borough. So we put a borough wall there. Okay, if you want that. Okay, after,
That's preamble to R3,
now that is.
and it was never removed when we told the planner to remove it from the code.
The planner can't remove it, only the borough.
No, the planner could at the time we recommended it,
But
because we were doing
it's
the
part of-
master plan reexamination.
It's part of the ordinance. And this particular ordinance was adopted.
I'm standing on what I know.
But no, what I'm saying is, and I'm being very sincere about this. I'm not trying to go different. I'm being very serious about this because I take this seriously.
Is that implying that I don't?
No, I don't mean that. No, but you know what I'm saying? I just want to understand, but I want to be correct. And what I understand is the only person that can remove something from an ordinance is mayor and council.
Correct.
No one else in the world can remove something from an ordinance but mayor and council.
You
We
can't
can't,
remove it. No.
the authority can't, no one but mayor and council can remove that. So no matter what you told the authority to do, if it's in the ordinance, unless mayor and council remove it.
Right.
I understand we have it now, you know, I really think we're playing this out too much.
Well, no.
I'm trying to educate myself.
No,
I understand what you're
I don't
saying.
want to be in here in front of an applicant and not know the truth and the facts
If
about what the law is. Because I don't
the
know.
applicant says that townhouses are permitted under Runamede's, he's correct, they are permitted. What he doesn't know, and what we haven't provided, is what the setback should be,
Their standards.
what the standards are.
Correct. Okay.
Our ordinance says, yeah, they're permitted, but when you come down where it says, minimum lot size for, it has NA there, either not applicable or it's not provided.
So if the borough decides that the standards for townhomes are the same as the standards for single-family homes, then so be it. Basically, the
They
borough,
could
the
do that.
borough
They
can
could
come
get-
back and say
Then
that.
we need a
yeah.
variance for
You're
everything.
right. That's what I've been trying to say.
No. I want to understand that. I want to be educated and correct in my assumptions. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think that if the mayor and council determine that they want the standards for a townhome to be the same as a single-family home, then they put that standard in place, and then we have a standard to vote upon. And that makes our life a lot easier.
So if we're putting it into the R3 code, it has to be a 8,000 square foot lot.
Correct.
So it has to be 14 by 300. The lot.
Well, either that, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? We have to have something to.
Because traditionally, they're like 14 foot wide, right? So if it's 14 foot
Townhouses,
wide,
yeah, I
how
forgot.
how deep does a lot have to be to get you 800 or 8,000 square feet?
Yeah, it says 8,000 square feet per residential unit. So. if-
So they want to do a cluster with a duplex.
Well, duplex to me is like a two-family home.
That's like a
Townhouse or-
mother-in-law
Yeah,
suite or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like
not
that.
necessarily. Yeah. Yeah, it could be up and down, townhouses could be up and down. But the traditional townhouses,
It's not what this guy says that counts, it's what he doesn't say.
oh, hey,
Not you.
But we will,
God forbid,
we will
take you on.
We will try and be prepared. We're gonna make a very, very big effort to be prepared for the council meeting.
And try to pass it on to us, even if we have to go into a closed session before the meeting.
For me?
I said, try to include us, even if we have to go into a closed session before the meeting or something, just so.
Whatever, we'll have a solicitor here, will be part of it.
Okay.
Whatever you want to say.
I think it's important, it's a very big application.
I'm not saying it's not.
The last bit of developable land.
Yeah.
oh,
in
yeah.
the borough of Reynolds.
That's why I hope they don't come in August, because I'm going to spoil, I can't be here. I want to,
He's coming in.
well, that's why I had June, let them know that I'm not going to be here, because I'm going to have a full board.
And we don't know else, not going to be here.
Right, June, did you get,
Yeah.
did you email him?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So,
I emailed the attorney, I didn't have yours yet. I'll get that out tomorrow. I mailed it to him.
You're gonna let, know that there might not be a full board?
Mr. Fulton may not be here either.
Okay.
Mr. Fulton said he might not be here either.
Possible.
Yeah.
I should,
It's just, I don't know.
Okay. I'll be.
I know they have a lot of people that they pay, they have a lot of professionals that come in.
I wish we got paid by the hour.
Well, how long of an extension time do you think they'll need?
Say it again,
You
Jim?
have to put that in a letter, what's the extension of time? Who knows what? There's no point in them coming in next month if you're not gonna have the decision.
Well, Mayor.
They're entitled to a full board.
Extension, right?
But rather than renotice everybody,
It's your
You
application.
know, did you ask for
you're
extension?
asking for an
For writing
extension.
the letter, we were due to give him a letter, and we just didn't make it.
Okay.
So we had a solicitor respond in writing that apologize that we couldn't get it. So then when we sat down, it was only not very long, and we decided that we were going to need need some other input, so that's why we're trying to muster that.
The possibility exists that they're going to take the townhouses out of their application.
Yeah, they may, yeah, they may. And then there were,
That's why I was saying, I don't know what they're.
Especially the
What the
banner
judge
back
will
and
put
forth in
something
the
for.
original meeting.
I mean, I know that was discussed initially, I don't know. I mean, if they took out the townhouses, I think from the plan that I saw, they would be in conformance.
Would they normally get John Pettit, a site plan ahead of time?
Oh, absolutely.
So perhaps we should
Absolutely.
contact
You would all
John
get it
Pettit.
Absolutely, you all get it before.
Because if they've taken the townhouse out of their application
Oh,
and
yeah, we don't know.
given it to John Pettit, then a lot of this is mute.
Yeah, we don't know. I don't know, they might still, they might be coming back in with the same application. We haven't gotten the our office any revisions. So I'm gonna presume they're coming back with what they came in February.
Well, no matter what, it's going to be a situation that you should be glad you don't have to handle.
I think Carl Beer's coming in, it's his turn.
Well, I thank Councilman Dietrich for his time and attention and apprising me of what's going on so far, and I'm not trying to repeat.
Pardon me?
I said, I thank you for your time and attention.
Oh, no, but you know, one thing I was trying to save you a little bit of time, because no matter what you say here, it's right now, it's in council's hands. If they decide to say, look, we're gonna leave it the way it is, we'll leave it the way, they say they're gonna do this, and there's gonna be things that they have to do.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, our responsibility as planning board members and zoning board members is to address the application will come forward.
Yeah, to hear
Whatever's put in front of it, you look at it, if it complies with the rules, if it fits, if not, you need to determine.
Yeah, and make the decision.
Well, in any event, we
But it's-
would be the ones to set the standard.
If you accept, if there were no standards, a planning board can then, if they're satisfied with the plan of the builder or the applicant, they can approve that plan for each individual lot. Yeah, you do have that right to do that if there are no standards. But because you do that, doesn't mean that somebody else in an R3 can then use those standards. You could accept it for a particular lot. You can say, okay, we don't know what, there is no ordinance, it sets those standards, we looked at your application.
The clusters in the townhouses were taken out of the R3 specific code.
They're still in there. Well, unless there's a new ordinance and they're still in here. I can show you, because I don't see any amendment.
How often have you heard this? I rest my case, Counselor.
Well, I'm just reading what's in here,
I understand
what's in
that.
your ordinance.
I understand that, but,
I mean, unless there was another ordinance passed after April 2011, it's still in here. It talks about, in fact, it says it is the intent of this ordinance of R3 to encourage clustered single-family and townhouse developments.
is that 395-H?
It's right in here. That's what I'm reading from. And also to encourage and permit existing multifamily developments within the zone. Yeah, I mean, unless that ordinance was changed. And John Pettit said the same thing. He said, yeah, that's what our ordinance currently states. I'm reading it.
Okay.
I'm reading it. I mean, I don't, unless it was changed, I don't know.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, this particular ordinance was amended in 96, 2005, 2010, and again in 2011 by the township, by the Borough Council. Because what it does is when it cites it, it cites all the revisions right up at the top, when the council made changes. Now, before this, I don't know what the changes were, because when the change is made, this is taken out and the new one's put back in.
As a matter of fact, it goes way back to 1994, this parcel of land.
Yeah, the last
The
time.
litigation, by the way.
Really?
By that.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But that's where, that the planning board is at a disadvantage. Our ordinance says it's permitted, but it doesn't tell us how we do it. It doesn't give us any standing.
Well, hopefully that's what mayor and council. will do.
Yeah, and there's just there's a gap in there.
Yep.
And it happens, it happens sometimes in ordinances.
Mr. Carter, Mr. Rowan, I thank you very much for your time spent on our behalf.
Always be available.
Probably want to get a little more convoluted before it becomes an actual ordinance.
Yeah, it may, and unfortunately, the borough, both the planning board and committee and council, you have to work out some resolution, because the worst thing you don't want is you don't want somebody from outside of the community telling them what you have to do.
It may not get that, it may
Yeah,
not get that.
I'd like a court.
We might work out a good plan.
Yeah, if you work out a good.
Just like we did with the vault. That guy came back 2 weeks
Yeah,
later,
if you work it out, that's
he
all.
worked it out, and I thought he came up with
I
a
think
great
it's always
plan.
better if my philosophy.
We dictated what he
Yeah,
did.
let the people who live in the community
That's right.
make up those standards. Don't have
If
somebody
we had voted
down
right,
in town telling you what you have to do.
if we had voted the initial meetings, it would have been a no. When he
Yeah.
came back, he did the changes like we asked,
Yeah.
he did everything we asked, and it became a very nice plan within 2 weeks.
And I think when we have the next application, the board should be very honest. This is where we are, but we really don't, there's a question of whether townhouses are permitted. Well, there isn't a question. They are permitted. Right. This board doesn't, can you revise it? Because maybe take them out.
I think they very well may. I mean, they seem amicable enough to different
Yeah, I mean, they
suggestions that we were stating at the last meeting, so.
I didn't see whether there was any animosity
No.
from them, or
No.
I spoke to the.
I have an idea about how we can get some agreement from them, but I can't talk to them until they give us
Yeah,
an
right, absolutely, yeah. You can't make any communication with board.
or put that out as an idea in the general public eye.
Now, our engineer can make suggestions. Geez, maybe if you did this, that might be.
That's why I was asking if John might already have an idea of what they have in mind they're coming in for. They may have already supplied him with a plan.
And it was like,
They're coming in with the
vote. I mean, the people that came in with the vote, he was a nice guy, but he got the impression the first meeting, you weren't happy with the outside.
Right.
Hey. So I think Thatcher picked up on that right away, and when they came back in, that was eliminated.
Okay,
All right, well, thank you for your time, guys, I appreciate it.
anybody else have anything to add? The motion's in order for adjournment?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a public portion? Pardon, not the public? No public?
This meeting's open to the public. Would you like to speak on any matter concerning the planning board?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to close the
public portion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Public portion of the meeting is now closed. The motion for adjournment.